Hey, it's Howard, and it is time to play some games. I'm back with some more Pokemon Go PvP content, and today we're going to be looking at my weighted Rose Cup tournament. So we're going to be looking at all 4 rounds today, so if you're excited for this video, go ahead and drop a like down below. And without further ado, let's get into the first match against Angeliner. Alright, so we're going to be jumping into round 1 against Angeliner. And we're going to be starting off with Probopass into a Rhydon. And this is going to be a bad matchup for us since those Mud Slaps are going to be doing tons of damage. So I decided to swap in my Gligar here. We're going to go for a Night Slash. And he's going to throw up the shield. We don't get the boost there, but that's expected. You only get it 1/8 of the time. We are deciding to shield this because I know it's going to be a Surf, and that's going to deal super effective damage to us. He swaps out into Alolan Marowak, which is a really good matchup for us. As long as we don't get hit by a Shadow Ball, we're going to be able to take little to no damage from his Bone Clubs, and we're going to be able to do super effective damage with our Night Slashes. So I end up calling a bait there, and I ended up taking a Shadow Ball. We're still able to get off several Night Slashes there and get this final Night Slash here to take down Alolan Marowak. So then we're going to see what he comes in with next. And he decides to come in with Clefable, which is going to be a bad matchup for us. But we have our Probopass for Clefable, and we have Medicham, which we can save for Rhydon here. And so he's going to stay in here. And we're going to go for a Magnet Bomb, which does get shielded. We're still going to stay in with this matchup. We are going to throw up a shield, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Since I was expecting a Meteor Mash, and that was going to deal lots of damage, I could have tanked a Psychic pretty easily. But since he decides to swap in Rhydon, we are going to swap in our own counter to Rhydon, which is going to be Medicham, and we're going to be able to take it out before it gets to a charge move. And we're going to, since we can't switch out, we're going to just go up to an Ice Punch and be able to finish off this match. So GG's there. So we're going to hop into round 2 next. And starting off with a Medicham, and he's going to have Rhydon, so we win the lead this time. And we're just going to be going for that counter damage. It does so much to Rhydon. He's going to switch into a Golbat, which is bad news for us, except we have an Ice Punch ready, which is going to deal lots of damage to Golbat. So we're going to switch into our Probopass, and our Probopass is going to be able to do lots of damage to this Golbat with our Rock Throw fast move. So I decided to tank the Shadow Ball. If it were a Shadow Ball, if it were a Poison Fang, still not going to do a ton of damage to us, and so we can just go ahead and farm down. I decided to shield here. I don't know why I did that. I probably didn't need to do that, shield. But he's going to come in with Rhydon here, so we're going to go for a Magnet Bomb. Now, Magnet Bomb is going to deal super effective damage, but it's not going to offset the amount of damage we're going to be taking from those Mud Slaps. So I decided to double shield here on that serve, and so that shield was a good idea, but the first shield was not a good idea, and since I did the first shield, I don't think that having that second shield was a good idea there. We are at equal shields now. Neither of my Pokemon do very well into Clefable, but we're going to come in with Gligar, which does have a better matchup, and we're just going to go straight for those Night Slashes. We're fishing for a boost. Let's get that boost, and we do get the boost. Our attack rises by 2 stages. We're able to deal lots of damage now with our wing attacks, but Psychic does take us pretty low. But we do get to 1 more Night Slash. Even though it is resisted, we're still going to be dealing a decent chunk of damage. And we're going to be able to get Clefable really close to fainting, and we're able to come in and get 1 counter off with Medicham to finish off that match. So we're going to go into our 3rd match now. And we're going to lead with Haunter into Alolan Marowak. So this is really good for us. Not quite as good, since he does run a Hex variant of Alolan Marowak. If he had a Fire Spin, this would be a much better matchup for us. But so we decide to, he decides to swap out into Golbat. after shielding our first charge move, and we get off a Shadow Punch, and then we're able to come in with Golbat here. No, with our own Probopass against Golbat here. So Poison Fang, not going to do much damage to us. We double resist it with our Steel typing. We're able to farm down here. So then we just have to go for Magnet Bomb since we don't have the switch clock up. And this Rhydon here is going to deal lots of damage to us. But we are able to land that Magnet Bomb, which is really good for us. So I decide not to shield this because we're just going to get farmed down anyway. And I don't want him to have remaining energy. So we're going to come in with Wigglytuff. He immediately switches out, and I don't have to shield whatever this is because the Shadow Ball is going to be double resisted by us, and I switch in Haunter. Probably not the best idea because I just gave Alolan Marowak energy, and I wasn't able to get to a Shadow Punch like I thought I could. So we're just going to tank. We're gonna farm down Alolan Marowak, and then farm down Rhydon. So that's GG's against Angeliner. On to round 2. Alright, so we're going to be jumping into battle against Amelia Marie 77 here. We're going to start off with a Charizard lead into an Alolan Marowak. So this is not the best matchup for us, because if we get hit by a Shadow Ball, it's not going to be good for us. I decide not to shield here immediately because I know this is a Bone Club. I know she hasn't built up the number of Fire Spins that she needs to get to a Shadow Ball. So I go for the Blast Burn here. It is not shielded, which does tons of damage even though it's resisted. And we go for the Dragon Claw here, which will either finish off Alolan Marowak or it will get the shield, which it does. So I decide to shield here, thinking that it's going to be a Shadow Ball. It ends up being a Bone Club. So I swap in Gligar here, which we are able to get to the Night Slash. This will either take it out or get the second shield, and it takes out Marowak here. So we're going to see, and she comes in with Charizard. We're going to go for Night Slashes, and especially if we get the boost here, it's going to be really helpful, but we end up not getting it. And so we're just going to keep going for Night Slashes. I decide not to shield here because I'm thinking that it is a Dragon Claw, and it is. So we're going to go for another Night Slash here. And it's a good thing that was a Dragon Claw because that would have taken us out completely. So I take down Charizard there. We go for a Night Slash into this Steelix. Dig would have been the better move, but I wouldn't have been able to get to Dig because I would have been farmed down by Steelix's Dragon Tails. So since this is her last Pokemon, Charizard is the correct play here, but I want her to use up all her energy, and instead of taking out Charizard. So this is the safer play here, because I am not going to get much use out of Probopass anyway, so just dealing as much damage as I can with it is going to be the best way to go. And so I end up not getting the shield here, which is completely fine, but we are going to be able to get Steelix into Fire Spin range, where we can just come in with Charizard and just go for the fast moves to be able to take out Steelix here. So even though this seemed like it would be a bad idea to send in Probopass, and ended up working out for me because I was able to deal enough damage to where I don't have to worry about getting the shield from my opponent here. And so, GG's there, since we were able to get the shield with our Probopass there. So we're going to hop into round 2. We're going to start off with Wigglytuff and see an opposing Wigglytuff. We're in a Wigglytuff mirror now, and so we're just going to be going for Charms. She decides to swap out into Alolan Marowak, which allows me to swap out into Charizard. So this was a mistake here. I should have gone into Gligar here. Both of them would have tanked those. Well, Gligar would have taken the Bone Club a lot better, but that was a big mistake on my part. I wouldn't say it's a huge mistake since it's still a playable matchup, but it's still not the best thing I could have done. So I decided to shield this, and I correctly predict the Shadow Ball. We're going to go for another shield bait here with the Dragon Claw, and it doesn't connect. Well, it doesn't get the shield, but we are going to go for one more Dragon Claw, and this will take out Alola Marowak. So we have an opposing Charizard here. We're going to go for a Dragon Claw here and deal some decent damage to it, and we are not able to get to another charge attack before going down. So we are going to go in with Gligar here because I know that she has a Wigglytuff in the back still, so we are going to need to play it safe there and try to keep our own Wigglytuff there. I started feeling like I was going to miss some bubbles, so I just did some fancy maneuver. I don't know. So I decided to come in with Wigglytuff here when she swaps out and go for the Play Rough to get the last shield. And I am just thinking, oh no, this is it. This is the game. GG's there. My Gligar is going to faint to this Ice Beam, but it ends up being a Play Rough, and so we're able to farm Wigglytuff down there and take the win there. So we're going to hop into our third match here. In our third match, we're going to lead off with our fighters here. And the reason Medicham has a better advantage here because it has the typing advantage. Because fighting is going to be dealing super effective damage to Scrafty since it is part dark type. So we're going to, she's going to swap in Marowak, we're going to swap in our Gligar, and we're just, you already know how this goes, we're just going to keep going for Night Slashes. And we do get the boost here. And this, I decide not to shield, and it ends up being a Shadow Ball, which is not good for us, but we are going to still be able to take out this Marowak here. And we do have a boost. We don't have a lot of health to be able to use it, but we do get off a boosted Night Slash onto this Steelix. It's still not going to deal a ton of damage because Steelix is just so tanky, but we are now able to come in with our Medicham here. So I know at this point that Probopass is not going to be dealing much damage for us. It's not going to be a huge help because her two remaining Pokemon are going to just destroy Probopass. So I decided to go for a Shield Bait here. We do land that Shield Bait. She does have one more shield still. So I build up to Dynamic Punch and get a Shield Bait because I know I need shields down so that I can get off a Dynamic Punch onto Scrafty to finish this game. So shields are, she still has one shield. We do spend our last shield there, and here is Scrafty going to get off a Power-Up Punch, so we're able to go for a Ice Punch to hopefully nab the last shield, which we do. And then I just am going for Dynamic Punch, which was a bad idea on my part. I should have just gone for the Ice Punch since she was now down a shield and that would have KO'd. But we were able to come in with Probopass now, and you see how little damage we're doing versus how much damage this Scrafty is doing to us. So we're able to not get this third round. We still win the overall set of 3. So GG's there. We're going to hop in against Varios here in the third round. We're starting off with a Haunter into a Charizard. Both glassy Pokemon, but Haunter does have the advantage here. So we're going to go for a Shadow Punch, which does connect and deals massive damage to this Charizard. I decided to shield here because either way it's going to deal lots of damage to my Haunter. We're able to take out Charizard with enough energy for a Shadow Punch, and so we decided to throw it right away at Probopass. And I am able to even build up to another one because he is running the Spark variant of Probopass, which is going to deal a lot less damage than a Rock Throw variant, but it is going to generate energy much faster. So I decided to come in with Medicham here, and I don't shield this because I am realizing that I probably don't need Medicham for whatever's in the back, and I just need it for Probopass, so I don't really need to spend my shield on it. So I decided to come in with Gligar to counter his Medicham here, and I shield this because I know an Ice Punch is going to deal lots of damage to Gligar, which is a ground and flying type, 2 types that are weak to ice. So that's how much damage it would have done. So that was a good thing that I shielded there. So we're going to go for this Night Slash to finish off, to actually get the shield, because that was his first shield this battle. But we use the Night Slash here, and it is shielded by Probopass, but we are still able to take it out. So that's GG's there in our first match. I'm going to hop into our second match now of round 3. We're going to start off with Medicham into Rhyperior, another great lead for us. We're going to able to do lots of damage with counter. We almost don't even need to throw any charge moves because of how much damage we're doing with counter. I decided to shield this here just so that we can have lots of health on our Medicham to be able to use all this energy that we now have. So we decide to throw this Ice Punch here, which gets a shield, and I use another Ice Punch and gets a second shield. So now we are up 1 shield and looking pretty great. So I am fine to just go straight for the Shadow Ball because I know that it can't be shielded, so there's no risk of having a Shadow Ball be shielded there. So I decide to put up a shield here, and we are able to just farm down Probopass, but I was getting nervous. I wanted to throw this Shadow Punch just to confirm the takedown of Probopass here. And this charge move from Charizard is going to take out our Haunter there, but we were able to come in with Medicham just because I know we have that extra energy. I was trying to get that Ice Punch damage so that our Gligar can come in and safely take it out, and we end up not able to throw our charge move there even though we had plenty of energy. I don't know what happened there, but we were able to come in with Gligar, throw the Night Slash here, and finish off Charizard. So that's GG's there. We're gonna hop into the third battle now. And we are going to be leading with Medicham into Rhyperior a second time. We already know how this matchup goes. We can just counter it down and have tons of energy for the next Pokemon. So he decides to throw again. I decide to shield again, because I know if he's not switching out, he might have something in the back, maybe like a Probopass, that he doesn't want to use against my Medicham. So I throw Ice Punch again, just like last round, and it doesn't get the shield this time, so I throw another Ice Punch, and this time it does get the shield. So I decide to stay in, and I go for one more Ice Punch. This will either deal a decent amount of damage or get the second shield, and it does get the second shield. So we are now up a shield, and we are looking pretty good. So I'm able to come in here with our own Probopass and take out Charizard, except he's able to get to this move here. I decide not to shield. Even though it's a Blast Burn is going to deal tons of damage to us, we don't really need our Probopass here, and I'd rather keep the shield because our Probopass is at a disadvantage against his Probopass because he does have the faster charging quick move, and so he's able to get to charge moves faster than us. He's deciding not to throw right now. He's trying to farm us down so that whatever our Pokemon in the back is, he can safely take it out with charge moves. So he finally decides to throw with the Magnet Bomb. He has tons of energy right now, but we still have that shield. And even though Gligar here is not going to be able to deal tons of damage with wing attacks alone to Probopass, we were able to use Night Slash there and pick up the win there. So GG's against Varios there. We're going to hop into round 4. Alright, so we're going to jump into our final round here against Ashmidi. And so this was a bad matchup for us. We're going to be able to be charmed down easily by that Wigglytuff. So swapping in Probopass here into Gligar. Not the greatest matchup for us, but it's still somewhat workable. We get that Rock Slide to connect and I decide to shield here. It's a Night Slash. Probably shouldn't have shielded that, but it could have been a dig there, and that would have done massive damage to us. And so another Night Slash there. Decide to get off this Rock Slide, hoping to get a shield. Since I didn't get the shield, it was probably best that I didn't do that. So I'm seeing that this Probopass is a Spark variant. So I decided to swap in my Medicham here, and he swaps in Wigglytuff. So this is really bad for us. I get off this Dynamic Punch here, hoping that he does not shield this, so we can still do decent damage, and we deal tons of damage here. And so I'm going to come in with our Probopass here just to finish off Wigglytuff there, and throw this Magnet Bomb right away, because I know that it's going to be his own Probopass, because he knows that he can win with it, and it's his only Pokemon left. And so we're going to go and decide to shield this, because I know that I need to keep Probopass alive or deal as much damage as possible, so that we can take out the opposing Probopass here. And we're going to take a charge move here. It's going to be a Magnet Bomb. It's going to almost take us out. I'm going to swap in our Wigglytuff. And so since he does have a shield, he would have been able to block anything. And I didn't want him getting even more energy off of our Probopass. And we were able to farm him down with the Charm Down, Farm Down there. And so we're going to hop into round 2 here. Super close match in the first one, and it is a Charizard against a Drifblim here. And so depending on what charge moves are thrown here, this can be an interesting matchup. So the Dragon Claw gets blocked. I decide to stay in. I decide to not shield this, thinking it's going to be an Icy Wind, and it is a Shadow Ball, which just annihilates my Charizard. Thought it was going to be an Icy Wind, which, if I shielded that, would have been just terrible for me. So I use Probopass here, and we were able to almost farm it all the way down with Rock Throws alone. And he uses Icy Wind here, so he did have Icy Wind, but he was able to bait us earlier. So we decided to swap in Gligar. It's a good thing I didn't use that energy on Probopass, because it wouldn't have done a lot of damage, and so it's better to have that energy saved up so that I can throw it on the next Pokemon that he'll send out. Like, that energy on Probopass is much better spent on his Wigglytuff instead of his Medicham, especially when my attack has been lowered by the Icy Wind. So we're going to just throw off as many Night Slashes as possible here, trying to get the boost so that we can deal even more damage, but either way, just trying to deal as much chip damage as possible here. And we're going to be hit by an Ice Beam before being taken down. And I decide to farm down Wigglytuff here so we have even more energy. And I go for the Rock Slide. I know this is going to get shielded here, but we have enough energy to go for the Magnet Bomb. And the Magnet Bomb is going to deal a decent amount of damage, but not enough. And our Probopass is going to go down, and we're going to lose this round. We're going to hop into a third round. And so this third round, we did replay it because of lag. So this is using the same teams as in the version that we replayed. And I don't have that footage here for you right now, but we're going to play it out the same way. And so I throw the Shadow Punch, and I decide to shield here, thinking it could be a Shadow Ball, but even if it's an Icy Wind, it's still going to deal lots of damage to me. And so we're each down a shield here. I'm going to throw Dragon Claw here after swapping in Charizard, and he is going to use a charge move here, and I shield it thinking it's going to be a Shadow Ball, and it was correct. And so I'm able to take out Charizard there, and he is lagging here, so I'm going to wait it out. I was talking to him in person here. I decided to give him a few wing attacks to make up for the fast attacks that I was throwing on his Gligar there. But I throw the Blast Burn here. He is not able to shield it because he is out of shield, and he gets off a charge move here. It's going to be Night Slash. and we are both extremely low here. It's a race to the farm down, and I decided at the last minute to throw this Dragon Claw here, and it's going to be able to take out Gligar here. And so there is more lag here on his end here. I decide to stop and wait, but my game throws the charge move. Anyway, I decided not to throw any bubbles because I did cue the charge move before I wanted to. Wait and let him catch up. And so I come in with my own Medicham here, and we get off this Ice Punch, and he is going to throw his charge move here, and it is going to be a Dynamic Punch here, which is not the right play in my opinion. You want to go for those Ice Punches, and he goes for Ice Punch this time, but this Ice Punch here is going to take him out. And I showed this to the other tournament official that was here, and they and I talked with my opponent A Schmitty here about this match, about the lag, and we decided that that lag did not impact the game enough, because I did wait for him to catch up with the Gligar, and I did have that Haunter in the back, which had enough health to be able to take out Medicham. So GG's to all of my opponents featured in this video today, and a huge thank you to everybody else at the tournament. And so this was a very fun tournament. Definitely not an easy win on my part at all. I had some very tough matches this time. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for more content like this. And let me know down in the comments how your Rose Cup endeavors have been going. If you've already competed, let me know how well that's doing. If you haven't competed yet, let me know how your team is. What are you liking this month? I'm really enjoying Gligar this month. Gligar, wasn't sure if it would be my favorite. I didn't even use Dig this month. I spent 75,000 double moving Gligar, and I didn't need it. But it was still my favorite Pokemon this cup. It came in every single match and was just amazing as a safe switch there. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later. Bye!